All right, let's begin lying down on our backs. So just find a comfortable shape, whatever that looks like for you. You can close your eyes if that's relaxing. Just drop into the floor. Notice what parts of your body feel heavy and connected to the floor, what parts feel a little lighter. Imagine you're lying in sand and you make an imprint, noticing what parts are sinking and creating a little more depth. And then take your attention to your breath and start to notice that as you take some deep breaths in and deep breaths out, how that affects your relationship to the ground. Just take 3 more breaths here, centering your body, centering your mind. And then take your body into a big X shape. So reach your arms to the back corners and your legs to the front corners. And on your inhale, reach especially through your right hand and your left foot, like someone is pulling those limbs in opposite directions. Exhale, relax. And then reach through your left hand and your right foot. Reach. Exhale, release. And then inhale, reach through both arms, both legs, big stretch. And exhale, release. Now place your left hand on your chest and start to slide your left hand all the way up the length of your right arm so that it starts to pull your left shoulder and your left hip off the ground as well, rolling toward your right ear. Your left foot lags behind you in that X as you feel that opposition from hand to foot. Deep breaths here to the left side of your waist and hip and thigh. Slowly unwind, coming back piece by piece into your X. And then bring the right hand to your chest and start to slide the right hand up the left arm, rolling to the left hip, left shoulder. Your head can rest on your arm or on the floor. Energize your back foot. And unwind back into your X shape. Bring your legs together, zip them up, reach your arms overhead. Point and flex your feet a few times, toes forward, toes back. And then walk your feet up so they're in line with your hips. Bring your arms down by your side. And on your inhale, start to peel your spine off the floor, lift your hips toward the ceiling, and at the same time, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, roll down through your spine, one vertebra at a time, as your hands land down alongside your hips. Take this at your own pace. Try to feel each piece of your back lifting, letting the arms follow, coming all the way up to the shoulders, letting the glutes engage, and then releasing the spine down as you exhale. Take that 3 more times. Noticing what parts of your back feel like they need a little more time. You can really move slowly to articulate. After your last one, just bring your knees into your chest, give them a squeeze. And just drop both of your knees over to the left side, take a twist. You can pull your knees up nice and close toward you with your left hand and open up your right arm. Really breathe into the right side of your chest, opening it out toward the right. Come on back to center, change sides. Inhale back to center. And you can wrap your hands under your thighs and rock and roll up and down your spine a few times, making yourself into a little ball. If that doesn't feel good on your spine, just roll to your side to come up. Otherwise, keep your chin tucked, take a couple more rolls, massaging up and down your spine. And then we'll meet on hands and knees, bringing the knees right under the hips. And then come down onto your elbows and bring your elbows right under your shoulders, so you're on your forearms. Take a moment to pull your shoulders away from your ears, and then pull your navel up toward your spine, so you're really engaged through your waist. You might bring your knees a little closer to one another, and then reach your right leg back behind you. Extending in opposition long through the top of the head, you can keep both arms on the floor. Or if you want a little more challenge, reach your left arm back. So your left palm is alongside your body facing up. And just start to pulse the leg, and if the arm is up, start to pulse the arm. Little movements up and down here. Think of cinching your right armpit toward your left hip. Hugging that left shoulder blade in toward the spine as you squeeze the back of the shoulder up toward the ceiling. Pushing into your right hand, into your left foot. And then pause those pulses, bend your right knee, and bend your left elbow. So your left hand is kind of by your left armpit, almost like a chaturanga shape. And start to pulse the elbow and pulse the heel up. Little squeezes here. Just a few more, engaging through the right glute. And then extend the arm forward, extend the leg back, reach your left thumb toward the ceiling. Lift your chest away from the floor. Find a steady breath. And exhale, release. Take a moment to just shake your hips side to side, let your head drop. And then re-engage, pull up through your chest, pull up through the center, and then reach back through your left leg. Option to reach your right arm back, palm faces up. Slide the shoulder blades down the back and start to pulse the leg and pulse the arm. Imagine you're holding something heavy in your right hand. Doing your best not to collapse your lower back here. energy through the left heel. Now bend your left knee, bend your right elbow, palm is facing the floor, elbow is up, and squeeze the elbow and squeeze the heel toward the ceiling. Tiny movement, hug your inner thighs toward the midline. Building some awareness in the back of our body here to help support the front. And extend the leg, extend the arm, right thumb toward the ceiling. Can you lift up through those ribs? Steady your focus. Feel the back of your head lifting. And exhale, release. Let's tuck the toes under, kind of walk the hands back a little bit. Sink your hips into your heels. Tucking your toes, getting a nice stretch through your feet. Ankles and calves, head can relax. Deep breaths into the back of your body like a balloon. And then take a look forward at your hands. Make sure they're just about as wide as your mat. And then we'll lift the hips back into downward facing dog. So make sure your heels are right behind your toes. You can't see them. Pull up through the quads, lift through the waist, press your chest a little closer toward your thighs. Really let your neck soften and the muscles in your face relax. And then come out into a plank pose. You might need to walk your feet back or your hands forward. Try to engage the muscles alongside the outsides of your ribs, like your serratus, by kind of squeezing the armpits in, pushing the floor away. You can always have your knees on the mat here. We'll take a few more breaths. Think of breathing into the sides of your body. One more big breath. With your knees up or down, slowly come all the way to the floor. Keep pushing the floor away on your way down. Point through your toes, anchor through your tailbone, and then start to lift your chest up and lift your hands up. So that same position we had in our tabletop with the elbows bent, palms facing down. If it feels okay on your back, lift your legs and maybe squeeze them together, igniting the inner thighs. Keep growing through the top of your head, through all 10 toes and fingers. Take one more breath, lifting. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, imagine you're dragging them backwards. Keep your feet down and then start to lift your chest into a cobra. As you do so, keep the shoulders drawing down. Try to find, again, those muscles outside of your rib cage. Exhale, lower your right cheek down onto the floor. Lifting through the navel again. Inhale, find your cobra, peeling up, bringing your head through center. Then turning your head to the right as the left cheek lowers to the mat. Once more, inhale, find your cobra. Coming up as high as feels good. And then from here, tuck your toes, press your hips back, come into downward facing dog. Reach your right leg behind you, press through your heel. And start to lift your left heel as high as you can, your standing foot, and then with control, lower the left heel down. Let's take that 2 more times. Lift the heel, exhale, lower. exhale, lower. Now step your right foot forward, find your runner's lunge. Fingers alongside the toes here. Really firm and engage the back thigh. Plant your left hand. Take your right hand to the back of your head and start to rotate your chest toward the ceiling. Pressing your head into your hand, elbow is lifting up. Inhale. Exhale, turn your right elbow down toward your left arm. So you're kind of wrapping under. Inhale, opening up like a fan, lifting the elbow, spinning the chest. Exhale, scoop that right elbow under. Once more, so you feel this movement coming from your thoracic spine, your upper back. Head is going along for the ride. Exhale. Release the hand from your head, reach it back up to the ceiling. Deep breath in, so you can stretch and firm the back leg a little further. Exhale, release your hand and step forward to the front of the mat. Feet about hip width apart as you fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen your spine. You can always put your hands on your legs. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Let your right hand catch your left wrist, side bend toward the right. Exhale. Inhale to center, change the grip. Left hand grabs the right, bend over to the left. Inhale, center, fold forward as you exhale. Flat back, halfway position, breathe in. Exhale, fold, and walk back to plank. In your plank pose, take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower down. Push the floor away, move slowly. Finding your locust or your cobra, or even lifting your hips into up dog, pull the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your left leg back behind you, dial all 5 of your toes to the floor. And on your inhale, lift your right heel. Exhale, lower it down. Twice more, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. Step your left foot forward, runner's lunge. So your front knee is right over your ankle. You're engaging the right glute. Take your left hand to the back of your head and rotate open toward the left. Breathe in here. Exhale, rotate the left elbow down toward the right arm. Inhale, fan open. Try not to disturb your hips. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Left shoulder blade hugs the spine. Exhale, close. Inhale, take that left arm up to the ceiling. Big stretch up. Exhale, lower the hand. Step forward and fold. Halfway lift, inhale, light heels. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Take your right arm forward, left arm back, twist. Now as you twist here, just take your mind's eye to your hips. Make sure your hips are not twisting. So if your hip bones had headlights, they'd be pointing straight ahead and that twist is happening from the belly button up. One more breath. Inhale, arms rise. Left arm forward, right arm back. You can think of turning your hips a little to the left to counter that twist in the upper body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lengthen, inhale. Step back again to plank pose. Know that you can always go straight to down dog or bend your elbows, lower down. Taking your back bend of choice. And downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths, push through your inner knuckles, your outer knuckles. And then bend your knees, walk or hop up to your hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. And come to chair pose. So drop your hips, reach the arms forward. Getting this lightning bolt shape, so lots of jagged edges, but also at the same time trying to soften the shoulders, the neck. And just take some circles for your wrists here, moving in one direction and the other. And then take your left arm back, right arm forward. Breathe in, your right palm can face down, your left palm is facing up, and then switch the arms as you breathe out. Switch, inhale, try not to pop your ribs. And exhale. Inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. One more, inhale. Exhale. Both arms forward, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Your choice how you get there. Inhale, take your right leg back behind you. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Give your foot some circles here. Change the direction. Straighten your leg, but keep your hips open. Try to lower your left heel a little closer to the floor, chest a little closer to your left thigh. And then step your right foot forward. Come up to a high lunge, so back heel remains lifted. Give yourself, again, a little hug in the left glute, finding your balance. Pull up the front of your hip points, take an inhale. Bend your back knee, bend your elbows, exhale. How low you drop is really up to you. Inhale, lengthen arms, lengthen the back leg. Exhale, bend. Take this 3 more times, finding lots of stability in your front shin, ankle, and knee. Creating that dynamic stretch in the front of the left hip. Next, inhale, reach up. On your exhale, we're going to come to standing splits. So push off your back foot, bring your hands toward the floor or your blocks as you fold over the right leg. Now you can have your hands on the floor here or on your blocks, or you might take one hand or both to the back of your right calf, finding a balance. Really using your eyes here to focus, to help you balance. Trying to square your hips toward the floor. You can think of both legs long or even bending both knees to help find that square connection. Push a little more actively into the front foot. Take one more breath. And then bend your right knee, step back for warrior one. So lower the back heel at a 45-degree angle. Lunge into the right leg, rise up. Make sure your feet are on opposite sides of your mat so they're hip width apart. Push into your back heel. Lift a little more up through your chest. Turn your palms to face out and reach your arms back behind you, finding a big circle down toward the floor. Bring your palms to touch in front of you. Inhale the arms up. Turn the palms out and circle the arms back. Once more. Inhale, reach up. Turn the palms out. And this time, interlace the hands behind your back. Inhale, shoulder blades hug. Knuckles draw down the back thigh. Exhale, humble warrior. As you fold inside over the right knee, try to keep your right hip squeezing in toward your left heel. Release your arms down. Walk your hands toward the left and parallel your feet. So you're facing the long left side of your mat. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Inhale, find a long spine. Exhale, walk your hands back between your feet. So you can turn your fingertips in either direction. But in either case, feel like you're kind of pushing the mat in the direction of your toes. Lifting your hips in line with your heels. Engaging your arms and pulling your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, come back to your long arms and long spine. Exhale, turn your heels and toes out, about 45 degrees, bend your knees. And then walk your hands to the tops of your thighs. You're inclined slightly forward here, pressing your thighs open. Breathe in here. Exhale, bring your right shoulder toward your left knee. Little twist. Inhale through center, left shoulder toward right knee. Letting your left shoulder really roll forward. Back to center. Start to upright your spine, so bring your shoulders up over your hips. You can press your palms down on the tops of your thighs. Rock a little side to side. And then bring your palms together. Interlace your fingers. Press the heels of the hands forward and up. Take one more breath. Stay low here in that horse squat. Lengthen out your legs. Adjust your back toes inside of 90, your right foot forward and come into warrior two as you open the arms. Making sure you can open up the right thigh enough to see your right big toe here. Then turn your right palm up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale again, scoop the right arm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Once more, inhale, reverse. Pause here. Start to slowly lengthen your right leg. And then reach your left arm so that it's parallel with your right arm. Keeping a lift in your left waist. Bring the arms overhead. Adjust your back foot a little more, angling it forward. Keeping the arms parallel, start to lean over your right leg, letting your hips tilt up and back. Rolling your ribs toward the ceiling. Push into your front foot a little more actively. If you'd like, lower that right hand to the shin or ankle or a block and extend the left arm straight up. Triangle pose. So how can we create more space here? Less tension. Inhale, rise back up. Bend into your right knee, warrior two, exhale. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Bring the hands down to the mat. Step back to plank. Pause here, or take a vinyasa. If you're holding your plank, one more inhale. Downward dog, exhale. All right, let's take the left leg back. Bend the knee and open up the hip. And then stir out your left foot, finding circles one way. And the other. And then straighten your left leg, keep your hips open. Keep sending your right heel toward the floor. Pull your lower ribs in and up. And then step your left foot forward. Rise up to your high lunge. Settling the ears over the shoulders, over the hips. Lifting your right hip up. Inhale here. Bend your elbows, dip the back knee, exhale. Good. Inhale, finding that control. Exhale. Take this 3 more times. Your next inhale, reach up. Bring the hands to the floor for standing splits. Push off your back foot and fold. Focus on wrapping your right hip down, your left hip up. Very deep stretch here in the left hamstrings and a lot of work in the right hamstrings. And then bend your left knee, step your right foot back. Make sure you're in your own lanes for warrior one. Rise up, dig into the heels. You can adjust the angle of your back foot depending on how it feels on your ankle and your knees. So everyone will have sort of a different degree of angle in the back toes. The hips will be kind of off to the right corner. Don't try to force them forward, let them be. But rotate your shoulders forward. Take an inhale. Look up at your hands, turn your palms out, and exhale, circle the arms back and down. Press the palms together, inhale, tracing the midline all the way up. Opening the arms outward and exhale, circling. Once more, feeling that movement in the shoulders. And this time, catch the hands behind your back. Breathe in, drag your knuckles down, lift your heart. Exhale, humble warrior, folding forward. Scissor the inner thighs, let your head drop. Let your arms release down. Walk toward the long right side of your mat. Parallel your feet. Find a flat back here. So hands are on your blocks or on the floor. Squeeze your inner thighs like you're trying to drag your heels together. And then open up your right arm for a twist. So push strongly down into your left hand here. Straighten the left arm and lift your heart as you rotate to the right. Good. Lower the right hand down. Push down into the right hand. Start to open up to the left. Again, think of your neck as kind of going along for the ride with the rest of your spine. So not cranking the neck or the eyes, but just going along with the mid-back. Exhale, release. Turn your heels in, toes out, bend your knees, and press your hands to your inner thighs. Torso is inclined forward. So knees are over ankles. Take an inhale. And then bring your left shoulder toward your right knee. Focus on pressing your left thigh open here. Inhale, center. Right shoulder to left knee. Twist. Inhale, center. Start to walk your hands higher onto the tops of your thighs. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Shift a little side to side. Interlace your hands again. Press the heels of the hands forward and up. Lift your right heel. Pressing into the ball of your foot. And lower. And lift your left heel. And lower. Option to lift both heels. Breathe where you are. Press both heels down if they're up. Lengthen your legs. Turn your left foot forward, your right toes in. Warrior two to the left. Opening up the arms, bending the left knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior, big scoop. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, pause here. Keep breathing. Start to lengthen your left leg. And then reach your right arm to that back diagonal. You're tucking your left sitting bone under, moving your left inner thigh forward. Bring your arms up through center. Turn your back toes forward a bit, and then lean left, as if you're coming into triangle, but you're kind of pausing halfway there. Pull the ribs in, roll the chest open. And you can lower the left hand and reach the right arm up. And a little bit of support there. If your neck bothers you, you can always kind of drop your head or look down, kind of exploring different variations with the head here. And then we'll rise up, inhale, find warrior two as you exhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior, left arm up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Make your way back to downward facing dog. All right, take your right leg back, bend the knee, open the hip. You can stay here and circle out your thigh. Or if you want to pivot on your left toes, you can flip your dog, pressing into your feet, lifting your hips. Using your strong legs to keep this out of your shoulder. We'll come around when you're ready. Right foot will step forward, high lunge. Know that you can always drop your back knee to the floor. Bring your hands to prayer, take an inhale, and then rotate to the right, either hovering your elbow over your thigh. This is actually a little more work for the obliques, or you can connect the elbow to the outside of the leg and twist. Push a little more actively down through your feet, squeeze the outer hips in. Taking any other arm variations you'd like here. Last 2 breaths. We'll look down and lower the hands. Walk your right hand out, come into half moon pose. So take your time to float the left leg, left hip, left shoulder open. Maybe the left hand pauses at the hip or extends up. Strongly into your right big toe. If you want to catch your left ankle with your left hand, you can kick the foot into the hand. Just be mindful not to jam through the back of the right knee. We'll step back into warrior 2. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Pause here, take your left arm parallel with your right. Bring your arms, your torso through center. Start to reach over your right leg like you're coming into side angle, but pausing halfway. A lot of work here in your core, squeezing in, rolling it up. You can stay here or lower that forearm to the thigh or the hand to the floor, finding your side angle variations. Taking one more breath. Look down, pivot on your back toes to bring your hands to the floor, bring your back knee to the floor, and then back up your hips and lengthen out your front leg. Spread out your right toes, feel like you're pulling your right heel backwards without moving it. Get long, come onto your fingertips, and then release forward as you fold. Blocks are great here if you have them under your hands. Take a few breaths with the toes dialing outwards, so letting the pinky toe edge of your right foot come toward the floor. And then the opposite, bringing the big toe edge of the foot, turning the leg in. And then toes straight up, and then point the foot, trying to get as much of the sole of the foot toward the floor as you can. You can even use your left hand to kind of help push the top of the foot forward. And you can stay here or then flex the foot, maybe using the left hand to pull back on the toes, getting a little bit of a deeper stretch through the arch of the foot. And then release, bring your left hand to the floor, bring your right leg back behind you, and open up your hip here. So you're balancing on your left knee, and you can move your left shin behind you a little bit. Adjust your left hand a little bit in front of you, and then open up the right arm. pull your left shoulder down your back, engage through the low abdomen. Maybe catch your right ankle with your right hand and kick the foot back. Re-extend the arm and the leg. Take your right hand down to the floor, step your left foot back to plank, and then open your left arm for side plank, facing the other way. Now you can repeat with your right knee down, or stack your legs, or stagger them, or take a variation in your side plank. You can also come onto your elbow here. If your shoulder or wrist is bothering you, just adjust here. And then we'll come back to plank pose, finding your way to downward dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Take your left leg back, bend the knee, open the hip. And circle out the thigh bone, or if you're flipping, take your time to pivot on your right toes, hips toward the ceiling. A lot of strength here on the back of the body, lifting you up. And as you come around, left foot will step forward, high lunge. Bring your hands to prayer position. Take an in-breath. And then rotate toward the left, covering the elbow or bringing it down. Like magnets between your feet pulling together. Maybe taking an arm variation here. Breathing into the sides of the body. Take your gaze down, take your hands down, and place your left fingertips out in front of your left pinky toe. Good foot as you lift off the right leg, open up the right arm, stack your hips, stack your shoulders, half moon. Option to catch the right ankle, kick the foot. Lifting through the inner ankle, inner knee, and inner thigh. Step back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Take your right arm up as well. Come through center. Lean to the left, like side angle. Roll the right ribs back, left ribs forward. Maybe lower your elbow or your hand as you're ready. Place your hands down, frame your left foot, drop your back knee. Scoot your hips back as you flex your front foot and straighten out your front leg. So without locking the back of the knee, try to square your hips. Pull back especially through your pinky toe. And then let the left pinky toe side of the foot come to the floor, turning out the leg. And then the big toe side of the foot toward the floor, turning in the leg. Back to center and pointing the foot, trying to press the ball of the foot toward the floor, the toes toward the floor. Maybe using your right hand to help press the foot forward. And then curling the toes back. Again, maybe catching the toes and giving them a pull back. And then we'll release the foot, bring your hands to the mat, sneak your left leg back, open up your left hip, adjust your right hand a little forward, keep the left arm up. Roll the right shoulder down the back. Maybe catch the left ankle with your left hand. Extend the left arm and leg. Lower the hand, tuck the left toes, step your right toes back, you're in plank. And then send the heels to the left as your right arm opens, side plank, your choice, your variations. Come back to plank pose when you're ready. You can take one more vinyasa or go straight to downward dog. From downward dog, reach your right leg behind you. Bring your left knee into your chest. Excuse me, right knee into your chest. Inhale the leg back. Right knee to left elbow. Inhale the leg back. Right knee to right elbow. Hold it there and try to swing your right foot toward your left wrist. And then place your right shin, your right knee down. So most likely the right shin will be at a pretty sharp angle here. You can move it more toward parallel, but for a lot of people that's not so good for the knee. So feel what works best for your knee. Push the pinky toe edge of your foot into the floor. Start to wrap your hips square. Another option is to bend your left knee for Z pose, a better choice for lots of people. And then we'll settle forward as you're ready, coming to the forearms. If you ever feel pigeon in your knee instead of your hip, change something about the pose. So again, a Z or a figure four might be a better option. Relax what you can here, maybe resting your forehead down onto your block or your hands. Three more breaths. And then walk your hands in. Find as much length in your spine as you can, pressing into the front leg. And then tuck your back toes, downward dog. Take any movement before we do this on the other side that you'd like. And when you're ready, take your left leg back, reach it long. Bring your left knee into your chest as you exhale. Inhale the leg back. Left knee to right elbow. Inhale back. Left knee to left elbow, hold it there, get really close, and then swing your left foot to your right wrist and settle slowly. Make any adjustments you need here as you squeeze the inner legs toward the middle and start to settle down. Last 3 breaths here. Begin to walk your hands in toward your front leg, lifting your chest up, almost creating a sense of slight back bend. And then tuck the back toes, come into your last downward dog. And then walk or hop to your hands, come to your seat, lower yourself with control down onto your back. Walk your feet in toward you, bend your knees, and roll up into your bridge, or if you'd like to take wheel, you can find your wheel pose. So we took these bridge roll-ups. This time we'll sustain that hold, pushing into the floor, finding your glutes, maybe interlace the hands beneath you. Any pressure in your knees, walk your feet further forward or try wider. Deepest breath in. Exhale slowly, release down. Bring your knees wide and the soles of your feet together. Coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, diamond shape. And then do the opposite. Take your feet wide on the mat and your knees together. Let your knees drop over to the left side, both knees to the left with your feet wide. And if you want, you can put your left heel on the top of your right knee. And then kind of squeeze your right glute here, opening up the right arm, right chest toward the right. And unhook the foot, taking the feet again wide on the mat with the knees now to the right. Left heel can hook over the right knee if you'd like. The left heel on top, right knee on top, right heel on top. Flex the right foot, tuck your left hip. And then unhook the foot. Bring your feet and knees together into your chest.
If you'd like a happy baby, catch your big toes, your feet or ankles, maybe even the backs of the knees, and open your knees wide, feet toward the ceiling. A little rock across the hips if it feels good. And as always, if there's anything else you'd like before Savasana, please take it. Otherwise, close your eyes, let your legs release, let your arms relax. Breath becomes natural. As you start to come back, I'll share some words of Jeannie Manchester's. I am grateful for my limits that teach me patience and peace. I'm grateful for challenge, defeat, and loss. They teach me hope is not a light at the end of the dark tunnel. It's the ember burning within me that I forgot to fan. I'm grateful to my teachers for introducing me to myself. I'm grateful for my past that has delivered me to my present. I'm grateful for all I have found and all I have lost. Both remind me I can live with and without. I'm grateful for silence and for laughter, and for my ears that can hear both. I'm grateful to my heart that beats and breaks and heals. I'm grateful for the fullness of my life, for the brief, heartbreaking, heartwarming fullness of life. So begin to find some movement. Taking your time. Gradually making your way up to your seat. And reconnecting to your breath, and to your sense of center. And together, take a deep breath in and out. Thank you all so much. Namaste.
Thanks, Alice.
Thank you all so much.